Welcome to When Creativity Knocks All-Star Designers Holiday Series.
Today, Judi Watanabe has an adorable holiday advent calendar idea.
I'm making this great advent calendar here with all of those envelopes that I ended up with because I buy those sets of cards and envelopes and then I try and make my card and I goof and then I have all these extra envelopes. So what do I do with it? I've got this great little advent calendar here. So the first thing is I've got my little closure here that I've made with this rubber band, kind of a fun thing with the beatery Wonder Loom, and we're going to show you how to do that in another episode. So that closed up my little box here, and then I've got this great little box, and inside here I have all of my envelopes. And again, you can see I've got another band here holding everything together. All of these little envelopes have these cute little sayings in them and a decorated bag and these beautiful, beautiful envelopes that I ran through my die cutter. And then, of course, we have to show all the photos, and I've got this great photo of my nephews. They're gonna shoot me because they don't want me to be taking photos of them in their Christmas pajamas, but you know how that goes. So here's how we make this great project. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start off with your Sizzix embossing folder. And you're gonna take your envelope and you put your envelope in the Sizzix folder, and then you're gonna run that through your Sizzix machine. And we're gonna show you how to do that in a different episode too. Okay, once you have that envelope, you're gonna set that aside. Now, to make the little bag, I've used this little die cut here, and this makes the cutest little gift card bag. So I have some printed paper, some printed houndstooth paper. I ran that through the die cutter, and as you can see, I've got this little bag. And you just fold it up on all the little lines, scored lines like so, and it's got this little tab here that you fold up, and then you just glue that all shut. And now you've got your little bag that you're gonna attach to the envelope. So when it's finished, it looks like this. And then I just put a little bit of double-sided tape on here. The tape that I like to use is a JudiKins mosaic tape. So that's just, and then it just peels off. It's got this little release liner on the back here. You just peel that off, and then you attach that to the envelope. Once you're finished with that, how are we going to let the kids know which envelopes they need to open? Well, I have another die here from Sizzix, and this die has all the different numbers on it. So I actually made my own paper because I wanted to have green and red with a little bit of frosting on it, and I wanted it to be shimmery. So what I did is use the JudiKins Mica Gloss inks. And these are water-based inks. They've got a pearlescent sheen to them. And what you do is you have to shake your inks up really well, and then you just lay a little bit of ink in a streak like so. This is the green. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of the red on here like this. And I'm gonna use a brayer. I'm using some glossy cardstock. It's like chrome coat here. and you just very carefully brayer that on. You don't want to mix it too much, because if you mix it too much, you end up with kind of a brown color. So just very, very lightly roll the color together there. And then just a smidge of the white and one final roll, and that makes it look just a little bit icy. Now, you're gonna let that dry. This is gonna take a couple of hours to dry, and if you're like me and you're in a hurry, you can use your heat gun and you just blow the heat gun over your paper for about a minute, and then that's gonna dry it. Once it's dry, then you're gonna take your paper, and it's in the perfect size because it's in a postcard size. You're just gonna lay this down on top of the numbers. Now the funny thing is you wanna make sure you put it on the right way so that when you cut it, you end up with the numbers showing the right way, because otherwise your numbers are gonna be backwards, and that's not, you'll just realize that you punched them out backwards and you just start over again. So here's my number 8, and then I just attach that onto my envelope like so. So I would just attach it like this, and that's for day 8. Then I printed my greeting out on Craft Attitude, and then I just attached that right to this card because I pre-cut the cards out, and with the Craft Attitude you can cut it out whatever shape or size that you want. So I have my tree here, and I stamped my tree with green ink on this white cardstock, and then I cut it out. And what I did with this is I added a little bit of diamond glaze and then Prismaglitter just to kind of give it that frosted look. I did the same thing with my candied cane, and I cut the candy cane out, and then also with this cute little package. Now the package is a little bit different because I used these markers, and I colored the markers directly on the package, and when I stamped it I got the different multicolors. Everything was then glued onto my little insert here that I have my Craft Attitude, where I have the saying that I use the Craft Attitude to adhere it onto this little card. So then you just insert it into your little sleeve like so, and then that's going to be attached to the envelope. Let me show you how to decorate the box. So one of the fun things that I have is it's really hard to stamp on this plastic because the plastic is very flimsy, and if you try and stamp on it, sometimes you don't get a clean impression. But with the Craft Attitude, what you can do is you can stamp on it. So I have my Craft Attitude. You want to use an ink that's a permanent ink. So I ink this up and I stamp just like so. So I have the N, O, make sure we spell this right, E. And what I love about this is you don't have to stamp it perfectly. It could be a little bit off-centered and a little bit wonky. And then the L. And it's going to take about a minute or so to dry. And once it's dry, then you're going to cut it out. So you just take your detail scissors here and you just cut around the image like so. When you're finished cutting out, you're just going to glue this to the surface of your box. But the funny thing about it is all the instructions on Craft Attitude say make sure that you print your image backwards, because you're actually going to glue the film directly to the box. But what I'm doing is, because my box is clear, I'm going to glue it to the inside of the box so you can see the image through it. Can you believe that I'm one of those people in the whole wide world that doesn't have an inkjet printer, but I have stamps? So I stamped on the Craft Attitude, and then I open up the box. I'm going to take my diamond glaze, and I put a little drop of diamond glaze and then attach that in like so. And when you flip it over, you can see the Noel through the clear plastic. So I peeled off the backing that was on the Craft Attitude, and now my letters are really clear. Now the box looks nice, but I just wanted it to be a little bit blingy, a little glitzy, and what I did was I sprayed it with the Design Master tint, and this is the gold tint. If I sprayed the whole thing, I would cover up the Noel. So I have some JudiKins Eclipse tape, and this is the Eclipse tape in the 1-inch roll, and you just cut it because this is the perfect size for these letters. And I'm going to mask off the little squares here. That way when I spray the gold glitz on, then it leaves the letters for Noel nice and clear. So I just cover it up like so. I take the spray, I shake it up, and then you just spritz it really, really lightly, and then that gives it this beautiful gold sheen. Once the paint is dry, you just peel off the tape, just like so, and then you take your envelopes, stack them up. We put our little band around them to hold them together, like this. And then you open it up, put in your stack of envelopes, and you're all set to have one envelope a day to get you all ready for the holidays.
Judi is truly the stamping queen. That was adorable.
No doubt.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, find us on Flickr, and pin us on Pinterest.
And don't forget to sign up on our website to receive our weekly newsletter, and then you're automatically entered to win one of our weekly prize boxes full of products from all of our series sponsors.